and all that is left is a diesel rail car, and all that is left is a diesel rail car. This is the spot where a signal box once stood. We would go up there as often as we could. Oil lamp on the table, a fire burning strong. Someone pulled the lever, a train would come along. So that one. So now my route's being set up, you see, as we go through the signals. That one's going the wrong way. This one. So that should bring it up to here. Does it not bring it up? Why is it not bringing it up to here, Dave?
You press it twice.
Oh, twice.
No, the other one.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
And again?
No, then the next one.
You can see how
No,
much to practice.
That one again.
This one again?
Yeah, the next one.
And then this one. Now this is your starter, or section ahead signal. And that's brought the route by magic, swung the points, so we're all up, ready to go, and that's to go to Kirby. Crikey. I tell you, I've forgotten it all now. Yeah, it is a face for the past for you. In his normal position, he said he hasn't got a phone to his ear.
Did I ever tell you a story
I'm
about
sitting in a signal box so high, getting paid for watching trains go by. Where's my train? All the passengers cry. They think all I do is watch the trains go by. Winter, it's no life of ease. Cold levers make your poor hands freeze. And summer sun, it makes you burn. And why can't I just work on early turn? The boss is coming, he'll just have to go. Hide your tea and biscuits and radio. Now he's asking all my rules and regs, but he can't work this box and pull these pegs. These are your reminders when things go wrong, when you're setting your points. So these top black switches are your points for working the junction down here. Dave will correct me if I get any of this wrong. It's a long time I've worked here. So just to remind you how you set those, or you've got a possession on, you put that on so you don't turn it. And these are basically the same for the signals. So you don't want to pull your signals off, you just put these on to remind you that you're not using that route. And obviously that's where it would start. So your route would go up here. So they're just your reminders. Plastic. The modern railway. In the old days, there used to be cast metal, our reminders, with stops written on them. With stop written on them, and if you used them as a knuckle duster, you could get pots written on your face. That's stop the wrong way around. These also are reminders. These are when you pull your points out, or you pull the signal out, you want to keep it out. You drop it behind it so that you can't push it back. Is that right, Dave? I think so.
Well, no, just say it like. Remind you of some of that.
Reminders.
Like the sidings down there.
Yeah, we've got something in these sidings down here. See, this little black here is, there's no track circuits on there. So you could have a train hidden down there that you would maybe forget about. And since I left here, they can actually stable trains down here now, so you can actually put one in there at night, and then you would just put that reminder on to tell you that there's a train down there. Which one? Online? outer section.
Outer section for that one, aye.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet he's saying, no, John Donald's on. It's not feeling his bell codes. I'll go and ring him in a minute.
He'd be filmed during.
And I just cancelled the route on that one. See, it's all coming back to me like a bad dream.
Get a song in there.
There's a rhythm, there's a rhythm, there's a rhythm in my mind. It's the rhythm of the 60-foot rail. The driver and the guard, they are working oh so hard, working to the rhythm of the rail. And the man who walks the track with a spanner on his back, he's walking to the rhythm of the rail. There's a rhythm, there's a rhythm, there's a rhythm in my mind. It's the rhythm of the 60-foot rail. The clerk works so neat, and he often stamps his feet, and he does it to the rhythm of the rail. The shunter and the checker work a little faster when they hear the rhythm of the rail. There's a rhythm, there's a rhythm, there's a rhythm in my mind. It's the rhythm of the 60-foot rail. And the man in the box pulls his levers, rings his blocks, and he does it to the rhythm of the rail. And the ones who've gone before, lost like the semaphore, they're moving to the rhythm of the rail. There's a rhythm, there's a rhythm, there's a rhythm in my mind. It's a rhythm of the 60-foot rail. And the last thing at night, when I turn out the light, I hear the rhythm of the rail. 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 Diesel rail car. This song came about after Mark asked me about my early life in Lancashire, and it took me back to Burscough Abbey Signal Box, where I used to hide in the lamp cupboard from the station master, who was later to become my boss about 10 years later. As a boy, I never collected engine numbers, but a lot of my friends did. Yes, I can remember the sounds of the clans with the two-tone whistle. Yes, I am that old. In 1971, the line by me was singled. So those trains that went through to Millom, Workington, Windermere, Blackburn, Colne and Carlisle and Glasgow were no more. Now it's just a single rail car. Now no more freight trains whizzing through to Carlisle, Healy Mills, Rosegrove or back to Aintree Grid. No more schoolboys and Gabardine Macs hanging on Mildam Lane Bridge. Well, at least we escaped the beach in Acts. Just. This is the bridge where we used to stand, notebook and pencils clutched in eager hands, standing on the bridge, breathing in the smoke, collecting engine numbers, trying not to choke, and all that is left is a diesel rail car. And all that is left is a diesel rail car. This is the spot where a signal box once stood. We would go up there as often as we could. Oil lamp on the table, a fire burning strong. Someone pulled the lever, a train would come along. And all that is left is a diesel rail car. And all that is left is a diesel rail car. This is the station where we still go to town, sometime in the 70s they pulled the buildings down. Now we shiver in the waiting hut, it is a drafty thing. On this once proud station, graffiti is now king. All that is left is a diesel rail car, and all that is left is a diesel rail car. There's houses in the sidings, a factory in the yard. Trying to remember now is starting to get hard. Names and faces all running out of time. Just like this railway, we're down to single line. And all that is left is a diesel rail car. And all that is left is a diesel rail car. This is the bridge where we used to stand, notebook and pencils clutched in eager hands, standing on the bridge, breathing in the smoke, collecting engine numbers, trying not to choke. And all that is left is a diesel rail car. And all that is left is a diesel rail car. All that is left is a diesel rail car. And all that is left is a diesel rail car. When I wrote Ulka Bob, it seemed that we always gave names to trains or engines, starting with the rocket, working through Puffin Billy. And around Lancashire, everybody seemed to have a funny name, example, Delft Donkey. We had two trains that weren't too far away from me. One was called Ulka Bob, that ran across the Moss at Ulka, and the Skem Jazza. Where they got the names from, I don't know, but I could see Ulka Bob bobbing along the Moss into Lord Street Station at Southport, or the Skem Jazza jazzing along between Ormskirk and Rainford. The Bob stopped running in the 1930s and the Jazza stopped in the 1950s, and people still to this day remember them with fond memories. Ulka Bob, where did you go? Like the old Skem Jazza Bob, you moved just a little too slow. Do you remember the days of the old steam train when they seemed to run on time? And we didn't need clocks and doors weren't locked as we ran down to the line. And the whistle shrill gave us a thrill as we watched the Bob go by. And we waved and waved at the engine's crew, just wishing we could drive. Ulka Bob, where did you go? Like the old Skem Jazza Bob, you moved just a little too slow. Now down Station Road it says road closed and the building's wrecked and gone. Now the weeds and wick they grow so thick where the trains they used to run. The bridge was clean of smoke and steam by countless years of rain. Now there ain't no signs down this branch line that say beware of trains. Ulka Bob, where did you go? Like the old Skem Jazza Bob, you moved just a little too slow. Ulka Bob. Yeah, Dave.